We're in place. We're going to be measuring depth of water using these point gauges. Point gauges have a scale, a larger scale here, measured in millimeters. And then we have this vernier scale, which is such that 9 of the small units in this scale correspond to 10 in this scale. And I'm going to show you how to proceed to the reading. But before we do that, I got to tell you, there's this screw here that will release the vertical arm. Before we do that, actually, I'm going to just release this screw, and then the vertical arm will go down until you touch the bottom with the tip of the meter. And so what we do at this point is tighten this screw, and then we're going to unscrew this one, lower it so that these two collars are in touch, and then there's a screw in the back of this vernier scale that we can unscrew and put it back here. So we tighten these 3 screws. And what we have there is a reading here. You can see the 10 reading there. Let's see if I can get it better there. I'm gonna get a close up. It's a little bit blurry. But anyway, the 10.5 reading here coincides with the 0 here, and so that's the reading of the tip at the bottom of the channel. Then we're going to run some water in here, and I'm going to show you how to measure a depth of flow. To run the water, first of all, make sure that the valve here is closed. Turn the pump on by pressing the 1 button here. You can hear the pump running. And then we're going to open this. Give it like 3 turns. You can hear the water running and rushing into the channel and going over the crump wheel. So the water comes from the head box, runs into the channel, goes over the crump weir. What you get there is critical flow, and then it becomes very supercritical, and then it dumps back into the hydraulic bench, running into the tank. To measure discharges, we use this dump valve. Here's the mechanism you just twist this until the pin gets off the support. And what you do is basically the valve closes the tank, and then water starts running, and you can see the water going through the gauge, going to 15 liters, 20 liters. You use a stopwatch to determine the time required to go by a certain amount of volume. And when you're done with that measurement, then you lift the dump valve and make sure that the pin is supported. Then the water starts draining back into the sump tank through that hole under the dump valve. You can see right there. And so we got our water running, and we're going to use the point gauge that we set up with this reading for the bottom. What I'm going to do here is to loosen up the screw closest to the bottom there, and then we lift this. You lift the arm until the tip of the point gauge barely touches the surface of the water. It's kind of hard when you have supercritical flow, But let me adjust that. And when you have the tip of your point gauge touching the surface of the water, then you can tighten the screw up here. I'm gonna have to do that and then show you in the